So I've got a little quiz to start today. Bit of trivia.
Ooh, I like trivia.
Pop quiz.
What are the top 5 most paid athletes of all time? What do you reckon? List them off.
Ooh,
Are we talking salary or endorsements or sponsors?
Earnings. So I
Career
guess
earnings.
all of it.
Michael
Yeah.
Jordan.
Ooh,
Michael Schumacher was the first sports billionaire, so he'd be up there.
Tiger Woods.
Shohei Ohtani's, well, he hasn't been paid yet, but he's on track to
I don't
get
know,
like
with all the
700
endorsements.
million.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, maybe Messi.
Beckham probably up there in football.
Is it only from their sporting enterprise, or is it just their net worth now?
I think it's just from the earnings in particular. So not necessarily their net worth now, that they're, say, if they're retired or something as well.
Yeah, okay.
That sounds like a good fight.
Yeah, I'm happy with at least Schumacher. He's got to be up there.
Virat Kohli maybe even as well.
Not bad. So, I mean, and to be fair, some of these lists are a little bit different. It's a little bit debatable, but top of the list, conventionally, is Michael Jordan. So,
Ding, ding,
yeah.
ding.
But he's got quite a lot. So inflation adjusted, it's like 4.15 billion. So
Damn.
Yeah, well, he gets like continuing endorsements on every shoe sold.
the other people on the list are Tiger Woods,
Ding.
Cristiano Ronaldo,
Ding.
LeBron James, and Messi.
Okay, we missed LeBron.
So
I was thinking LeBron, but I feel
it
like
starts
hasn't
getting
been
a
much
lot
money.
closer at that stage.
Yeah.
So Michael Jordan gets quite a lot, but then below that, it's to be fairly close.
Yeah.
And everyone's, so you could name a bunch of people that, could make the list.
I'm surprised Schumacher's not up there, because I remember there being...
Well, he would be up
Yeah.
there too, because like I was saying, so there's a bunch of people
Yeah.
in like the top 10 and even below that are like close to what Messi gets. Like
I guess
1.8
it
billion.
maybe not total, but I know he was the first to cross the billion mark in like value as
Well,
an athlete.
today we're going to learn about someone who earned a little bit more than that. And in fact, they probably crossed the billion mark a lot sooner than they earned a lot higher than all 5 of these guys combined. They're a chariot racer named Gaius Valerius Diocles.
Hello and welcome to the Wild World of Sport, the podcast where 3 friends sit down, crack a couple beers, and go on a journey to try and find the wildest story from the world of sport. My name is James Whybrow.
I'm James's brother Ben, no relation.
I am Carlin. Yes, also no relation. Yeah, I don't know what to say on this, but hi.
The chariot driver.
Yeah.
So from our Bill Fong episode last week, we have been flooded with some feedback of where it was ranked. A lot of people not too happy about how low Bill's gotten. Just want to flag that now. We will get into that towards the back of the episode when we are ranking the story. I don't think we're going to break our no re-ranking rule.
I can see why they're angry. It's maybe a controversial position. I don't remember being that harsh.
I led a bunch of the criticism, I will say, on it.
Ben was top. There wasn't as much criticism like specifically at either of you two. It was more just agreeing with me because I was valiantly fighting for Bill. But I'll put that on the
There was
back
nothing
burner.
against you two guys. It's just I was right, and everyone said so. How much did you pay them, James?
It's what it's what the people said. That's all I'm gonna say to it for now. All right, Carlin, tell us about the richest athlete, or most money earned.
Yes, the highest paid athlete, so to speak. So, his name's Diocles. I'm just going to call him that because that's kind of...
What's his full name again, just so I can cement it in my mind?
Gaius Valerius Diocles.
Gaius Valerius
Diocles.
Diocles.
Which you'll notice. Do you notice anything funky about that name?
Guy, like man, uppus, like upper class.
No.
Diocles. Cleat?
Okay, you're getting closer. That last name is Greek origin. Doesn't necessarily mean has any Greek ancestry, and in fact, I think in this case he doesn't. But
He's just sort of taken it. It's been given to him.
It's significant for some reason. Anyway, but yeah, it's a bit of a funky quirk because so he's actually born in. So he's a Spaniard, like what they may have called a Spaniard. He's from the Iberian Peninsula, which is what's modern day Portugal and Spain.
Good geography lesson to go with our quiz.
Yep. And then to further that, we're doing some ancient geography here. We got he's born in the country Lusitania. Didn't look up how to say that, but I feel like that's pretty close.
That sounded right.
Yeah.
Where is the modern equivalent?
Equivalent.
Yeah, that's the word.
More or less Portugal, but then a little bit in more, so part of Spain too.
So
that's
that's
like
why
kind of
Portugal
chunky.
and Spain are always fighting.
Yeah, because
They want to
Portugal
claim
wants to
the
become
richest athlete.
Lusitania again. Well, yeah, it was like a chunky Portugal. And our hero here, Diocles, he was born around 104 AD. To give you a reference, that's like around Hadrian and stuff, like Hadrian's Wall. His family heritage is also a little bit debatable. It's, I guess, widely believed that he was born into pretty modest, humble wealth. So, like, not nothing, but...
Lower middle class.
Yeah, he's doing well. But...
Is it sort of like how you don't have to be the richest rich person ever to do horse riding as a kid, but you got to have some money if you're doing horse riding as a kid today.
Well, there's
Don't
some evidence to suggest he was a slave.
Oh, okay.
We're all a slave to the system, man.
Yeah. But that being said, he probably wasn't. So where he came from, Lusitania, is a part of the Roman Empire that's famous for breeding really fast horses at the time. I guess you can sort of start to pick up where this is going. Like, you know, this regional dude born in this place with like really quick horses.
Sounds like a good
Mr.
makings
Hands
of an origin.
comparison.
No. Sounds like a good origin story brewing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a nice little origin story. Like, it lines up neatly. Could make a good movie. A lot of this really, it's like Gladiator, because it's like how he goes. Like, he's like the Spaniard and stuff because he goes to Spain when he gets like banished and everything. So parts of it kind of do really make a good
That's
movie.
cool. Well, if it was a Disney movie, I'd be starting with that he's like a slave or he's just a freed slave. And so, you know, really humble beginnings, not, I've got some modest wealth.
Yeah. Well, most people, well, not most, but a lot of chariot racers were actually slaves or became freed during the process. It's a weird line, like, slavery in Rome was sort of different to what we're thinking of, like, because I guess we kind of have that fresh American slavery sort of period.
You're kind of indentured for a certain period of time. You're a slave for 10 years, and after that,
Well,
then you're able to be a citizen. And
There's
then you
so
can own
many
slaves.
different ways that it worked, but often it didn't work quite as harshly as it did in America.
This
So,
might be,
Not chattel slavery.
Yeah.
this might be completely not what it is at all. Have you ever seen the movie Death Race?
Great movie.
No. What's Death Race?
Brilliant movie. We're going on a complete tangent
Yeah,
here.
pretty terrible. Jason Statham, so it tells you what sort of movie it
yeah,
is.
already.
But it's like they make criminals race against each other, and whoever wins the race gets their freedom. But it's called Death Race because they get like
So it's like
machine
Hunger
guns and
Games,
turrets and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the prison system's so expensive. The way to pay for it is by putting on these televised events of death racing.
So
you
it
have
is
to
like
win
Hunger
3
Games.
races.
Yeah.
You have to
It's a bit like that.
survive and win all 3 races, and then whatever your crimes that incarcerated you were, like dropped off, you get a pardon for them.
But so it's like so dangerous that, well, we're not going to make the regular people do it. We'll make the prisoners. So I'm just imagining, chariot racing, that's so dangerous, but it's fun to watch. Let's get the slaves to do it. If they fall off and die, who cares?
Yeah, well, to be honest as well, there's a few ways the Romans in particular made chariot racing a little bit extra spicy. Not too crazy, but like they take it pretty hardcore. Anyway, back to our good friend Diocles over in Lusitania. I probably said that differently to how I said it before. Eventually, Diocles is going to pick up chariot racing, like fairly young, like while he's a teenager. Just, I guess he raised horses and stuff, so that's a natural thing to do. And people quickly sort of see his flashy style, and they think he's quite good. So he gets the chance to go to Rome.
They put him in the academy. He was balling out on the football field. Like, we got to get this guy.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that too. So yeah, it's like he would have been roughly 18 when he moved there, and it's like he'd be living out his dream to go and race in what's effectively the Champions League of chariot racing, which in a second we'll we'll get to some of those comparisons actually.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, for him, this is like a big deal going to Rome to play in basically the Champions League at the Circus Maximus. If you remember that from Zoe's episode.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so giant stadium, the Circus Maximus. It's like 250,000 seaters. So big deal. So yeah, a bit of a background on chariot racing, just to sort of keep you up to speed. Like everyone knows about gladiators, and that's what you sort of think of when you think of like ancient combat and sports. But like we were just saying, the Circus Maximus has a 250,000 capacity, which is a lot larger than say the Colosseum, which I think roughly off the top of my head like 60,000 or something. I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah. So you can't make as much money because you can't have as many spectators in, and as well, it's like having like a Circus Maximus sort of like circus area. I think there's like 6 or 7. 6 or 7. That was unintentional. Different circuses around Rome. So there's other stadiums effectively. Like this is what's like football to them. That's what's like.
You've got your non-league grounds that only hold 1,000, maybe a couple thousand. Then you got your higher clubs. They might have 20,000, but this is the Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, well, and like the Circus Maximus is anyway, but then as well, even the other ones, just because of to give you an idea too, they're not circular, so to speak. I guess it's more like a pill shape.
Yeah, oval.
Like
ovoid.
Long. Like I know, like
No, ovoid's a sphere.
Or even if you're thinking like a racetrack, it's
Yeah.
an oval. It is more like that because it is at the end of the racetrack.
2 straights and 2 corners.
Yeah, exactly.
Or one whole corner. That's
Do they go
circle.
clockwise or anti-clockwise?
We're getting into semantics now. I actually,
That's
so
directions.
I remember looking at a diagram when I was researching this and assuming the diagram was orientated correctly. I believe they line up this way and they go.
Sorry, which way is
anti-clockwise.
this way for our audio listeners?
So, I was just saying anti-clockwise, but I was doing a fun, like it looked like I was doing Doctor Strange. Like opening the portal.
I think you could hear which way
Superman.
Carlin was turning. I could hear it if I closed my eyes.
Thanks, James. All right. As well, the chariots themselves work a little bit different to modern day chariots. But how much do you guys
cars.
know about modern day chariots?
As in like the horse racing chariots?
Yeah.
Sitting down, very flimsy, 2 big wheels. You've got structure going in between the 2 horses, and then you are connected through both horses. So you steer them together, not independently.
Yeah, so I guess that's one of the main differences too. Obviously, I guess it's more brutal, but yeah, beyond that as well. Yeah, so like you were saying, in modern chariots, you're kind of sitting down with your legs extended out like this, as the viewers might be able to see right now if I sit loud enough. So with ancient chariots, instead of sitting like that, the whole thing is a bit smaller actually, and you stand, and when you stand as well, because you can't even kneel in it and sort of slump forward. Part of like the operation of running the chariot is you have to sort of lean back your feet, like your heels, into the back bit of the platform that you're standing on to sort of lift up the weight on the horses to like balance it.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you can let it on, and that like puts brakes on. Yeah. So it's part of the mechanism.
It's like a ripstick.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a ripstick, but mixed with the horses.
And the reins are separate for each horse, aren't they?
Yeah, so the reins are separate for each horse.
Yeah.
So you're controlling each horse individually.
Brutal.
And like I was alluding at earlier, the Romans in particular were a little bit extra, like took extra steps to be extreme. They tied the reins to their waists instead of like... So the Greeks doing chariot racing at this time would have held it with their hands like a normal person would. But the Romans thought, no. We're going to tie them to our waist.
Captain goes down with the ship.
Yeah. So even
Rips you
if
in
you
half.
crash and you like somehow survive, you're like,
We're
getting absolutely flailed around the place.
I'm imagining the Simpsons where Homer's on the couch watching stand-up, and it's a black guy doing it. It's like, you ever see white guys, they're driving their cars like this, and he leans really close in it. But a black guy drives a car like this, and he's like looking all cool. That's how I imagine the Greeks, they ride chariots like this. Or the Romans, they're riding chariots like this.
Well, I think that's what the Romans did think of themselves, so that's probably accurate.
They
So
were made of wood, right?
the chariots.
Yeah, they're just like wood with metal trimmings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're not the most robust.
No.
I guess modern chariots are probably pretty
And
fancy.
I suppose that comes onto my next little bit here. So there's this thing called shipwrecks. What do you think shipwrecks are? Just judging by the name.
Shipwreck, when the whole thing crashes and splinters and falls apart.
My guess would be during a race, if someone crashes, they just leave it out in the open and there's debris you have to worry about.
So exactly
So
what
it's
Ben
like
said.
a
So
reef.
that's
You're
a
crashing into the
shipwreck.
reef. You're crashing into all the debris.
So that's the other extra spicy thing compared to normal chariot racing. It's just, a crash is on the middle of the field. You've got to go around it.
So no safety horses coming around. Up, everyone hold your position. We're going to bring
60%
out the
of maximum
crew.
speed.
Yeah.
There would be different events as well with like different amount of horses and different amount of so you competed in teams. This will come up in a second, but there'll be different amount of competitors on each team. Yeah, different horses and different rules and stuff. So like team events and then solo races, things like that. So I guess with the teams, you can sort of muscle people off and have your teammate win and things like that.
Roller derby style.
I was just thinking roller derby.
Well, the interesting thing is, now that we've like talked about all these sort of comparisons, it's a lot like F1.
I was thinking F1 then when you said it was like teams.
So there are 4 teams, and I almost started this episode with a fun sort of like clickbait about that because I thought, maybe I'll like, instead of doing a quiz, I'll be like, what's like the most ancient sport or something.
I like the
couldn't,
quiz.
Couldn't work it out.
More quizzes. Ben, give us a quiz next week for your story.
Okay.
More
Thing. Does it have
pictures?
to, does
More
it have to
quizzes?
be related to the topic?
No, it could just be sport related.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Okay.
Something to keep my attention, or it could be at least somewhat related.
Long as it's wild. On
Yeah.
brand.
Okay.
All right, and as long as it's worldly, that's part
And
of the brand.
sport.
Yeah.
And of.
So the 4 teams were each named after the seasons.
Did they use fall or did they use autumn?
I don't know, but I can read out what they are. So the colors are white, butter, red.
not a
My
colour?
favorite season is
Rusata.
white al butter.
Yeah, because it's named after like the seasons, but it's like
The seasons or the seasoning? Like I season my steak
green
with
is
butter.
Prasina, blue is Vanetta. These are your F1 teams.
Wait, so white, green, blue. What was the last one?
white, green, blue. What else would there be?
Red?
Yeah,
I didn't catch the red's name. I was too busy making
red was Rusata.
Rusata.
It sounds like red. Rouge. Rus.
Who do I want to put my allegiances on?
I'm going red. Team red all the way. Rusata.
Yeah, team red.
I'm going
Rusata.
I'm going al butter. I'm going white.
Interesting picks. I suppose I was going to mention this later, but I'll bring it up now. So it sort of always was these 4 teams. There was a brief period where one of the emperors was like, let's make it 6. And then he died and then went, no, we don't want 6, we want 4. Like, these are hardcore football fans. They're like, no Super League. We want this to be the real deal. So it's funny, you picked red, you picked white.
Yes.
Those are the 2, I guess, less prestigious teams. So green and blue win more often.
Well, I didn't want to be a chariot wagoner.
Yeah.
Would it be band charioteer?
Underdogs. We're going under horses. Undercarriage.
Undercarriage.
I'm going for the undercarriage.
I like undercarriage.
That's fine. A lot of my teams haven't won any championships in a while. It was reminding me of school houses a little bit, and my house was always really bad at the sports days. So I'm happy to be not bad at this. Got no skin in the game now hearing this story. So
They still have a charioteering thing in Portugal or Spain that they keep these teams. Is there still Al Butter FC?
It'd be Alberta MC, wouldn't it? Motoring Club or something.
yeah. CC Chariot Club.
I actually don't know. There's so much history. There's a good chance that they keep it around somehow. Oh, I'll show you their cool little uniforms too.
Which you can see at Wild World of Sport on whichever social platform you prefer.
Yeah, have a look at that. So they've got cute little armor that has the different colors.
Have to say, I think I've picked the worst looking one.
It just looks bad on a mosaic.
I guess it's like colouring in with white pencils when you're in primary school. It just never will look good unless you're an amazing artist.
It was the Spurs pick, wasn't it?
I'm liking
Was that unintentional?
the red doesn't look too bad. The white, I can definitely. That one's the boringest, the blandest of them all.
Well, I feel like my favorite color is green, but I don't think green's that great.
I think green looks the coolest out of the mosaic pictures.
I think red looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they're all missing something though that really takes me out of looking at sport. Where are the gambling and alcohol sponsors on their kits?
Or cigarettes, like in the good old days.
Or Chinese spyware companies.
That reminded me when I was looking back at the Fong episode, and you said a lucky strike, and then how it's a messenger that hits the last standing pin. I was thinking, surely a lucky strike. They don't call that a cigarette. I just had a cigarette.
Ah.
Didn't know that?
No, Carlin and I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I don't smoke either. I just
Oh,
know
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there goes a quiz
Change
question.
Yeah.
They do have sponsors and such. I don't actually have any information about the sponsors. It probably would have been more like wealthy benefactors,
Sounds
like
to me
a
like
senator.
you're talking out of your undercarriage.
I'm talking out of my undercarriage a little bit.
The Roman
it would have
waste
been more
management
like senators
services.
and stuff like that.
The people that come around and replace the butt washing sponge on a stick thing. That could be a sponsor.
Deep cut.
That would be awful. Who wants to be like the butt sponge sponsor? Oh.
Everyone's using
That was
them.
probably our teams though, because we weren't as well known.
Yeah.
I wonder. They must have had some sort of sponsorships. That's going to be a wild story. We've got to find that. Also, it's worth bringing up as well that the average career of guys like this that race charioteers, is about 7 months.
How many races is that?
Depends. It really does depend. But I'd say, well, I'll tell you this guy. So I could be telling you the story of Fuscus. I think it was like Gaius or Fuscus or something as well. But anyway, Fuscus, another racer from around the same time, he had 53 wins before he was 24. But he wouldn't be getting any more than that because he died when he was 24. So
From
which
racing?
team did he race for?
I think he raced for the Whites.
Bang, Al Butter. If we're the underdogs, they won 53 races. To be an underdog with 53 wins.
That was the son of the Al Butters.
Well, you've got to start out somewhere, I suppose. Like, you don't always get immediately signed by the big dogs.
True. Didn't get a chance to.
Yes. So, pretty brutal sport. Quickly as well, I guess the other thing to say, which isn't too relevant to the story, but I guess to imagine it, these giant tracks. So you can imagine the sort of stadium ring around it and the seating. In the middle, the center bit, they have statues. What's so funny?
Sorry, I was just thinking like talking about like in the stadium and then the like butt sponge, the Family Guy. Butt sponge, butt sponge, butt sponge. So, butt scratcher, butt sponge.
I was here like cars. That's where your pit crew is and all the fans.
Maybe people we're getting very off topic here. So you know how people bring like wet wipes and stuff, like when you go out, you know.
Oh yeah.
Do you think some people went, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my own butt sponge with me to the event, so I don't have to use the shared butt sponge"?
I feel if you're the sort of person that doesn't, in this time where it's so normal to use a shared butt sponge, if you had to be bringing your own, you're the sort of person that doesn't want to be using the stadium facilities.
I suppose, but if you got to go, you got to go, and that's why those people usually bring around like antibacterial wipes and wet wipes and stuff. It's because, you know, if you have to go, you need to be prepared.
I'm imagining, still keeping us off topic, that a stadium of 250,000 people, they're going to have a very similar like bathroom situation as us. It's just, well, men at stadiums at least, of just troughs, like just peeing against a wall and have it all just funnel.
I can imagine.
Like that many people. If it works for 20,000, it'll work for 250.
I'm not that well versed on 140 AD Roman infrastructure to think about it, like what their facilities would look like.
It's like an aqueduct. Just not that sort of aqua.
Oh,
get us back, Carlin.
We need a yellow team.
Yellow duct. What? Yeah. So our hero Diocles, getting after more wholesome things, I guess, than toilets. He joined the white team. So, yep, Ben's happy.
Picked a great team here.
Yeah, well, all the teams are prestigious. Like, playing in Rome is a big deal. But, yeah, mediocre start for him. He doesn't do particularly amazing to begin with. He just gets a win here and there, but no... so he's still getting some of his... so he has a very flashy style.
I know you said there's different types of races, but how many different chariots would there be in a race?
So you
Just
could have
4?
the solo races where it was like 4, but it could be... So another thing that I might touch on a bit more later, or maybe I'll just bring it up now, some of the races that Diocles ends up doing, a lot of like show matches and stuff, like big ticket sort of games, like entertainment, because of his like flashy style. He gets really popular. He gets invited to all these like show matches. I can imagine some of these show matches and stuff would have been like 1v1 or things like that. Something a little bit different from the usual setup. But realistically, I guess to tell you about his style as well. So what he liked to do was he pulled a Stephen Bradbury. he would pull to the back and he'd wait for all the shipwrecks to happen in front of him, and then he'd come racing through right at the end. So he just loved pulling Stephen Bradbury's pretty much.
I feel like it's a counterintuitive strategy. Like, I think if I get out in front, I'm not going to run into any shipwrecks.
I guess maybe the thinking he's got more time to prepare, but this is just what he did. And perhaps, maybe you're right, maybe it was a worse idea, like statistically, and it just wasn't the way to play. But he did it anyway, and it did infuriate people, He is a sensation. So,
and you're saying, like, Carlin's never once said that this guy was the best chariot racer. He's just said he earned the most money. You don't have to be the best to earn the most money. Like, think
Very
of...
true.
Or to be the flashiest, have the most people want to come and watch you.
yeah, I mean, we're really jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll let this comparison come now anyway. Ronaldo and whatnot, he's got the GOAT debate out there, and you could say Diocles has a bit of a GOAT debate to be said.
Man, that one's
the
getting
ancient
talked
chariot.
about in sports bars all over the world.
Yeah. I'm a Diocles fan, but...
Diocles diehard.
I just like how he raced for Al Butter, so if I wear my Al Butter jersey, it's not like stolen valor that he played for. It's like having a Gretzky jersey with the St. Louis Blues.
It's
he's not known for it, but he played there, so you can have that jersey.
It's like having a sporting Ronaldo jersey.
True. Man United, the second time.
Well, he would play for the Whites for a while, loyal man, but he eventually joins the Greens, and things start kicking into gear a little bit. He starts picking up a few more wins, making a bit more of a name for himself. And the green team, like we were talking about before, the green and blue team are like two of the bigger teams. So I'd call it like green teams like Real Madrid, blue teams Barcelona.
I was going to say, if we're doing Ronaldo comparisons, he's now left United and gone to Real Madrid.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so he's joined Real Madrid of chariot racing. And he starts doing all right, and he'll win a fair few times. He gets first, and often he'll place. And when he does place, it's usually second, not third. He does quite well. And at the time as well, he was often winning these races, not using his flashier style, but sort of winning the whole time. Part of this is because his team, the green team, I guess wanted to enter him in a lot of team races, which he wasn't that keen on. They weren't his favourite, but... yeah, they insisted on it. So he did enter in some single events, but for the most part, green team made him enter in the group events. Like, how you have the F1 teammates.
Yeah.
And he was good at these, and he got his fair share of placings, but he much preferred the solo races. And he really liked the solo races so much that it sort of became a style of play, the whole dropping back and doing the whole thing. It was all connected to that. He did his Stephen Bradbury thing, so he wanted to race solo races. Green team wasn't letting him. After 3 years at green team, he leaves and goes to red team.
Oh.
So this is cool, because this is like, okay, what's the comparison here? Because red team...
No, Juventus. That's where Ronaldo went next.
Yeah, okay, Juventus is all right. Yeah, because it's like, this is not as good, this team.
Yeah. Well, Juventus was pretty good at the time.
Back to Man United, another red team.
I'd say even Liverpool, but I don't know. I guess, like, from what I was looking at, white team and red team really...
They
don't
weren't
win a lot compared to green team and blue team do. But anyway, Diocles won wherever he went. But once he joined red team, he started really kicking into gear and winning all these solo races in his like flashy drop to the back and then beat everyone style.
I'm just getting a Mario Kart comparison. You're just sitting back to get the bullet bill or the like super mushroom, and then just going to do an ultra shortcut and win the race.
Mm. Yeah, he's right there. He's not like last by a mile, but he's right there just on 11th's tail. And then boom, he gets the best power-ups. Once that finishes, he makes sure he's only at 8th, so he still gets a really good power-up.
I wonder if part of it too, it's like, who knows, maybe he's doing like slipstreaming or something. This is the wildest story of the person who invented slipstreaming.
Do they have to train their own horses? Or do you just get given the
so
horses?
it does work like F1, so you've got like a team of engineers and everything. I imagine he, with his horse background, might have had a bit of a say in the horse matter, but like it's like F1, so he's got a whole team of engineers. It's engineers working on a horse.
They're building the horses a little bit differently to building the cars.
I imagine the
they build the
horse's
chariots.
longevity wouldn't be great either.
True.
Like if there's a shipwreck, horses have no muscles from the knee down.
Yeah.
Like it's all ligament. That's why they get put down, because it just takes so long to heal.
And
there's a risk
like
of it
I
not
was
healing
saying,
properly.
There's a lot of horses in these events, so you can imagine there's a lot of horses they churn through.
And to think about where, like, how, like, our society is today, like, we still put down horses for that sort of thing. I can't imagine, like, what they'd do if a horse was injured then.
He's racing with at least 2 horses with him.
Mm.
So he's always...
I'm guessing the answer is no, but did the horses get any credit?
So the horses actually did, in some instances, build their own cult followings of, like, fans.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
So the horses were quite popular too. This was really like, so again with the gladiator stuff. So yeah, I guess that's what people think of because, you've got the movie and whatnot that makes people think about, gladiators. But at the end of the day, it's less publicized, less recorded, the history of the gladiators because it wasn't as big a sport. It's just the chariot racing was the biggest ancient sport in ancient Rome anyway.
I guess pop culture wise, it's a lot easier to film 2 people fighting than it is for 10 people to race with like 2 horses each or something like that.
I know the pop culture like medium is like the big bad guy, the emperor or someone's going to be in their super cool chariot with the spikes on the side and they're going to try kill you and you're in the pitty little...
Like Sebulba in like pod racing.
Yeah. Man, we've been at it with the references today. Death Race, Star Wars, Family Guy.
I love me a glup shitto.
So chariot racing is a lot more documented. And speaking of, I do have some numbers here. So Diocles started 4,257 times.
Wow.
So
So if that's a race a day, that's like 11 years.
he played for his whole career. Actually, I'll get to that. Let's get through a few more stats. So he's had that many starts. Out of that 4,000 roughly, he only had 1,462 race wins.
Only a quarter of the time. That's pretty... I guess if there's only 4 horses.
Well, I say only, but then, the vast majority of it. So then he also had placements. That's just wins.
True.
So about 3,000 something. So basically, he had a 3 in 4 chance, 75% chance, 80% chance to at least place.
Wow. And we've been doing the Ronaldo comparisons. I don't know if you had it there, but I've just looked up how many games Ronaldo's played in his career. 1,294 professional games. So a quarter of what this guy's done. And you think how many games Ronaldo's played?
I'd assume the races don't go for 90 minutes.
But the time to then the risk of life and death compared to playing
100%,
football.
100%. So this sport is so dangerous. His career goes for so long. That's probably why he earns so much money as well.
I'm just trying to think, because you said before, Fictus, what was his name? He got 53 wins.
It's like Fiscus.
Yeah, he got 53 wins by 24,
Fuscus.
which was impressive.
Fuscus.
So if he was going at even half the rate, so 40% of the time, or even a quarter, he's done 200 races by the time he's 24. That's a 6-year career span. So Diocles, if he's racing the same amount, that's a long career. 200 every 6 years, and he's done 4,000. He's going to be ancient.
So this is what is just incredible about this guy. Like, wins aside, because obviously he won a lot. It's just insane. So he's got 1,462 race wins, which, I mean, guess how many do you think of those were solo wins versus team wins?
I'm going to say 800 with solo wins.
I'll go even more. I'll say 1,000, even 1,000.
1,064
wow.
solo wins. He only had 398 team wins.
Only.
But
stat padding.
Yeah, he did the solo races. That was his thing. And we also know about some of this because there's a bit of evidence that he sort of likes to brag about winning.
I would too if I've had a career that, if at the same pace as Farkas, is like 100-year-long career.
Yeah, so he like showboats a bit. The way he plays, like, by going to the end and then like running right at the end past everyone. Everyone's just like, oh, he's done it again, like showboating like that.
Just feeling scripted to me. Like, it just feels scripted. Like horses.
How do you script horses?
No, I just mean, like, does he just get better horses? Just like, you get the fast horses and these guys get, a mule that they've put stilts on.
But even so,
okay, it's perfect just saying, oh no, go on, James, go on.
Well, I was just saying, even so, that there's so many other variables that are happening that I imagine it's not just one lap if there's a shipwreck.
Oh, so the normal length is of a race. So the normal solo races would be like 7 1-mile laps.
Yeah, so you've still got to avoid then all the shipwrecks of other people and then go past everyone else. And there's a lot more variables than just my horse is faster.
The fact that he goes to the back is just like making me think of the Gretzky rule. So if you don't know the Gretzky rule, when he was playing, he was the star of the show. People coming to games just to see him play, similar to like Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. So the rule was you don't hit Gretzky. You don't foul him. You don't get up in his business because he's so good. He's bringing so much money into the competition that we'd rather lose this game because we're selling more tickets because Gretzky's playing against us,
right?
Than you hurt him, because if you hurt him, we lose so much revenue as a league.
Like a gentleman's rule.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just going to go to the back so I don't get crashed into, so that way I don't die. And also I can then win races when everyone else has damage. F1 comparison, again, like, oh, my car's got damage, I've lost my front wing. You're going to be a lot slower come the end of the race.
I mean, he successfully had team wins, so he didn't always use that strategy. Sometimes he did just push right up to the front and be there the whole time, but he made a lot of money, and I suppose he kept making money because of doing things like this. So, yeah, he really riled up the fans. And they're thinking like you're thinking, that they're thinking like, this is unbelievable, this is scripted, like what's going on? So they're doing crazy things like rival fans would sneak into the paddocks and try and steal the horse's like poop to analyze it. They're like trying to see, it's like, what's going on? Like whether they're feeding the horses.
Drug testing it.
Yeah.
How do you, I mean, back then all you do is just dig around and see what's in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose there's a lot of money in horse chariot racing, so.
Well, animal excrement is also used for like tanning, putting colour on leathers.
Yeah, maybe so you're just paying off people who are stealing it for other reasons.
Or I guess, what about a souvenir? Like you go to some stadiums and you can buy a
grass.
Piece of the grass. Oh, we're selling off the horse crap from Diocles.
Did he use the same horses? Like, was he known for having Blasty and Comrade, his two horses?
No, he did churn through horses, like, so, no, like...
Churn through them like our butter.
Think about his career. So, actually, to say that now, he retired at 42 years old. If he started at 18, quick maths.
So
24.
18...
Yeah. Winner, ding, 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 you win the second quiz question.
I'm trying to think how many races it is per year, not just... What is it, 190-ish? No, it's more than that. 24 years, 4,000 races.
A lot of math.
Yeah, I didn't do the maths on that
went a bit high.
So.
It's like 170 races a year.
Every 2 days. By 20. Like
every 2 days he's racing. Yeah. In a life or death sport.
We probably races, maybe a couple races in a day too as well, when he does race. But yeah, and this is all the guy did. He raced. There's not much else to his story. He just raced.
Well, the whole story is how much he got paid. How much did he get paid?
Oh, yes. So give me 2 seconds. So
Don't give the climax.
24 years.
I'm just trying to get us back on
He
track.
retired. And yeah, like he earned a lot of money, which I will literally bring up in 2 seconds. But he lived a pretty modest lifestyle. He kind of lived in a villa and stuff. It's not even clear he spent that much of his money that lavishly.
It was the love of the game.
Yeah. I'll bring up the little caveat here of his winnings as well. So technically, Diocles racked up a total of 35,863,120 sesterces, which is like Roman money. 15 billion in today's money.
What? Okay, so what is this an
15 billion.
inflation calculator or like what is
This is just what most historians today.
Okay, so what is the purchasing power of it?
So yes, I can tell you that. So that's actually, I guess, how they come to their calculations of how much
Yeah,
it
'cause
would
could
be
be
worth.
like, oh, I'm living in the Roman Empire. My villa
So-
cost me $7 billion.
Yeah, so he could, at the time, if he wanted to, rent or completely fund the entire Roman army for, I think, something like 3 months. Or he could feed all of Rome for an entire year. People would joke about this at the time. Like, this guy's so rich.
What's the currency called again?
Sesterces. Sesterces.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I just
so
want to see what it looks like.
the small caveat is, like, so he was a part of a team. You could imagine he doesn't get all the money. But even if he earned 10% of his winnings, he'd still be in that top 5 list of people we were talking about earlier. Even if he only got 10% of his winnings. And you've got to assume he made a fair bit of his winnings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
than 10% for sure.
Yeah, like you assume so. But realistically, he just raced, and there's no real evidence about what he spent his money on, other than he did have a pretty nice villa and stuff. And yeah, he retired when he was 42 years old, died a couple of years later, I believe. It's not really clear how he died too. But you
Heartbreak.
could imagine...
Wasn't racing anymore.
Yeah, no more racing. I think that's the obvious cause.
Wow.
An interesting thing as well is part of being a charioteer is this thing called like infamia. I don't know. It's basically infamous, but funny Latin word. So it's essentially the Roman concept that your job or status sort of taints you from being able to serve in any prominent government positions.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know why that's the case. It does make sense, I guess. So, for example, maybe because he's a freed slave, or his dad was anyway. That, I don't know, in my mind, it's like, oh, I guess they'd make a freed slave.
Well, since we've been talking about a lot of like pop culture movie sort of stuff, I imagine it may be like someone getting cast in a role, and then every time you see them, you only think of them as this person. Like, still, no matter how much he does, for Daniel Radcliffe, whatever he's in, I go, oh, that's Harry Potter. He's never going to get rid of that tag, unfortunately for him, if that's what he wants to do. I mean, I still love his work, but every time I see him,
But then
that's
there's
Harry
like
Potter.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then because he was obviously like, he's like the Terminator. But then he became governor of California. And so that's something you wouldn't have been able to do, because even for performers, you actually weren't allowed, like you were infamia, or like you were infamous. And so you weren't allowed to run for like certain government positions. So super uber duper rich. It makes sense as well. Like I was saying, he played a lot of, I guess, show matches and stuff that had far larger prize pools than normal. That like probably gave him a bunch of extra winnings. But realistically, he just played for so long. You know, like 24 years is insane for a chariot racer. It's insane for a footballer. And you don't die in football.
Well, that's the sort of stories you hear of people now that I was a kid coming to watch them, and now I'm bringing my kid to come and watch
James
them.
Milner.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the James Milner of chariot racing. Yeah, and he's just a player for the big stage. And he was clearly the highest paid. That's like not really disputed, but we'll jump in to actually talk about some other successful charioteers and compare them a little bit in the GOAT debate.
Ooh, yeah. This is what I wanted to know.
So, Flavius. Oh, question?
I was going to say I think there's a clear number one so far.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Diocles fan till death. So,
Diocles diehard.
yeah. Our Messi of our story here is Flavius Scorpus. So he was very wealthy too. He was the most successful charioteer in history. He won a total of 2,048 races.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He drove for the Greens, and he died racing at the age of 27.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So
hang on.
that's
Diocles,
insane.
42. It took him 24 years to rack up 1,400.
I
This
know,
guy
this
did
guy's insane
600 more.
Yeah.
How?
He was on the best team.
Still. That is insane. All right, sorry, I'm not a Diocles diehard anymore.
Yeah, you're like, no,
what's-
Messi's easy.
What's his name again, sorry?
Flavius Scorpus.
I'm a Flavius fanatic.
A Scorpus fanatic, I suppose. Scorpus would have been his like Ronaldo Messi sort of
Yeah.
handle.
Were they racing at the same time, or did they just miss each other?
Just missed each other. So Scorpus was born 64 AD. So around Nero story time. He would have been alive for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sort of like, all right, we're done with the Messi Ronaldo stuff, and then boom, Haaland comes in. It's like, oh,
Mbappe,
great.
Haaland,
Yeah.
Mbappe. Sorry, I was just in the weeds for like Roman hyperinflation. I was like, that's so much money. I was just thinking about it. It was 140 AD. Don't know exactly, but it was like, oh yeah, the value is €3 per coin in 140 BC, but by 400 AD it was 2 cents per coin. But I don't know when the hyperinflation started because it was under Emperor.
Well, the general
Pius
gist
or
of it, I
Prius.
think they get their calculations less from counting up the prize winnings and more from speculative, I guess, calculations on how much would he have earned. So it was sort of a famous saying or something like, oh, he earns like enough to feed Rome for a year. Or like, oh, he could rent his own
Those
Roman
comparisons
army.
are probably have more weight than the hyperinflation. Because I imagine like, oh yeah, I'm a rivet maker in hyperinflation Germany 1938, and I get paid 4 million francs a year. Imagine a franc in today's currency is worth this much. Because I know Pius, 140 AD, was like the golden age of the Roman Empire, at least for the economy. So it probably was strong, but I don't know. I just want to know the economy. I just want to know the value of these coins.
I don't care about the sport. This is an economics podcast now.
Well, we can jump into...
But it's a real sticking point for me. I don't doubt how he was paid a lot of money, but it's just... If he can he's paid such a great sum, he can feed every person for a year, but
feed him with grain.
But only 3 months of the military budget.
Yeah, the military costs more than feeding.
No, I
all
know,
of Rome
but I'm just
grain
thinking.
for a year.
Okay, so Rome can afford their military for hundreds of years
By
This one
their
guy.
continued
But
conquest.
he doesn't spend the money. He's a drain on the economy. If he doesn't spend, he's just
That's
causing
why it's like
savings.
he probably, it's like higher society things, right? His money's probably all tied up. Also, it works in different ways than to nowadays. So
Yeah,
it's
but
more
even
just
if you
the
have
level
a lot
of
of money you're
influence he
investing
has.
it in other ventures.
Mm.
It's like a bank. The bank doesn't
It's
just
better to-
hold your money there. It gives your money
Yeah.
to someone else.
We could probably say he had the purchasing power through all this stuff rather than the actual money. Because he didn't actually just have that much money. Where did he put it all?
In his villa.
Exactly.
In his
So-
modest villa. I'm just thinking like Keanu Reeves in... what's the movie?
John Wick?
Yeah, John Wick, where he's got the concrete and the safe underground just full of things. He just goes home. Did he own... Sorry, again. Did he own horses himself? Did he open a stables or something? Because if he loved the animals...
Again, there's not a lot about his private life.
Did
he
he-
probably had some horses on his flash little villa. That's pretty much his story.
How did he die?
It unclear as well. He just sort of died in his villa. James was joking. He died from losing the love of the race. It's gone.
Broken
Broken heart syndrome. It is a common thing. broken heart syndrome or like your life changing a lot. It's like when someone retires, the next 12 months are like crucial to their life.
One more quick little famous racer to mention in the GOAT debate, but hardly. Porphyrius Calliopas. He was a famous Byzantine charioteer, but he was a bit political in nature. I don't know. So he sort of, I don't know, got there was some uprisings or something involved with him. Yeah. It was less about him winning. It was more about his social involvement in like a greater thing is why he's a bit famous. So other than that, not a lot of competitors in the GOAT debate for our good friend Diocles. And 24 years competing, I think, is a pretty insane stat.
It's a long time at the top. Consistency-wise.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he didn't burn as bright as... Like, Scorpus burnt bright and was amazing, but he had a short career.
The other thing Scorpus did too, there is evidence of Scorpus spending his lavish wealth on things. He earned a lot of money too. Not as much, not nearly as much, but he built giant golden like statues of himself, big busts, like sort of like building like statues of himself outside the stadium and stuff.
Okay, maybe this guy's more like Ronaldo then. A bit more narcissistic.
Yeah. That's why it's like I think Diocles, he's the people's goat.
He's got one more thing to do off his GOAT checklist, and that's find a spot on the wild and mild ranking at Wild World of Sport.
80% chance to place.
I think 100%
it's a sure
chance to
thing.
place.
It's a sure thing.
I'd bet on him.
Yeah.
And you find out.
Put
where
all
he
your
goes.
septices on it.
He could have bought
all millions of your
He could have bought over
septices.
1,000 male slaves.
That's good to know, Ben.
That's a good one to have a break and get to our ranking, where Diocles goes
I just looked it up. The value of a slave
on our
in
wild and
140
mild
road.
board.
I was curious.
Welcome back to the Wild World of Sport. This is your first time listening. This is the part of the show where we rank the story that we have just heard on our very scientific, very in-depth, wild and mild ranking. And before we get to Diocles, I mentioned some housekeeping at the start of the show. Bill Fong, an outpouring of messages, of comments on our Spotify, of people complaining about our ranking, of Fong being too low for his story. And then I've had some...
He didn't even get it there. I felt robbed.
Well, some other people as well have told me, maybe not necessarily in the comments, but comments should have been higher. Love the ep, but the ranking was a bit off. You're joking, should have been higher. Surely the story has got to rank higher than Fnatic. They're throwing Fnatic.
I didn't
under the
realize
bus.
bowling would animate our community so much. I don't know if it's because we apparently got the rating wrong, or is it bowling really animates people?
Well, I think that this was a comment I got personally, not on our Spotify or on our socials, was that our rankings isn't for the best winner. You don't have to win. It's about the wildest story.
Yeah, I know. But then
Bill
we were
Fong's
looking
story is
at
not
the
about
ones,
winning.
and we were comparing. It's like, but then sporting achievement has some weight in it. But admittedly, it's quite emotional what we did, because it's like what? It was 2 points off, was it? 1 point off.
It was 1 pin.
1 point.
And he would have died if he got it.
No, see, that claim itself is, you don't know that. My take, I've read the comments, my take on he would have died is, you've got this doctor, you're making small talk, trying to be polite, and he goes, yeah, I had this. Oh, how did it happen? Well, I was going to bowl this 900. It's a big deal. It's like a huge deal. Only 40 people in the world have ever done it. And then, I've had these symptoms. And the doctor's like, oh man, this huge achievement, which would be a lifelong dream. Yeah, well, it's a good thing it didn't, because you're probably upset about that. You would have died otherwise. My other thing is...
So you think it's more likely a doctor just lies to their
Not
patients
lies,
to make them feel better than...
Well, there are direct correlations to, as a patient, making you feel like you're getting better and you getting better, like psychosomatic. But I'm also thinking, he has a stroke that's allegedly so life-threatening that he can then go home. Yeah, he throws up blood, should go to a doctor. If you throw up blood for any reason, go to a doctor. Sleeps it off, goes about a whole nother year, then has a similar episode and goes, you would have died. if it's a serious enough stroke, like that's pretty life-threatening. It feels like, not to minimize any stroke, but a minor stroke. But also, imagine the emotional state you'd be in if you've spent a decade and a half and you're this close to achieving your goal and you miss it and you're crushed. Look at any sporting event in a final where people lose. The losing team have the exact same emotional state as the winners, just the opposite reaction. So that could have triggered his stroke as well. I don't believe if he got it, he 100% would have died.
Yeah. And also, he didn't get the 900. And then you're saying there are people that were. That's why I was like, just a little bit disappointed.
I feel like I felt...
Well, people aren't
intellectually, I was robbed with the story and misled, so that did make me have negative feelings to it.
People weren't saying that it should be number one, but people are saying it shouldn't be as low.
Well, it goes to show that we were quite emotional too. Because we were like, what? It wasn't 900? It was 1 point less? How dare you? You know?
And I guess this is a good segue to say that end of the year, our final show, we've accidentally sort of planned it this way, that our final show will be on New Year's Eve, releasing on that Wednesday. And that'll be a special edition re-rank episode. So send us in your thoughts on this episode, Bill's episode, and every other episode. And we'll come in with some fresh eyes, unbiased, and crown our season 1 winner.
See, I think what we need to do for that, and that's spitballing in the open here, we each should do our own ranking of them all, and then we take the average position of all of them and put them on the board that way.
Do we
we have to give a time limit as well. Yeah, we can do the audience's poll as well. And we'll do all 4, we'll average them.
And then we get our mums to do it.
Well, we've got EP Zoe, who's done an episode as well. Felix should probably have some sort of say as well for doing an episode. We take too long ranking anyway.
Yeah.
Let's rank Diocles, Chariot Racer. This is like, for the metrics, quotations that we sort of give this, I was sitting there with my jaw open, jaw-dropping moments. There was like 2 or 3 of them. So immediately that's like on the wild side for me. I'm above halfway already.
I feel like just the 24 years in the sport alone just puts it on, like, this is a special story.
Yeah.
But I don't know how special. That's what I'm not sure on.
I'm sitting above Michael O'Brien, Carlos Raposo, which is our middle line.
Yeah, I agree. I personally think it's between Eddie Goodell and Dick Rutan, but closer to Dick Rutan. I'm caught up on he's famous for his length of his career. I feel like the sticking to the back was just a longevity standard where the young guns are going out there, I need to win, and then they get ripped in half by the reins tied around their waist.
But isn't it then more impressive to last as long as he did in the sport? Like, I mean, you talk about Scorpus, who had more career wins, but in a shorter time. Like, he didn't have the longevity.
He died racing.
Did he?
Like, lots of them did.
So the fact that he didn't die is, for our metric of breaking it down in the championship metric of did he win, how good was he? This guy's up there, like top of that ranking.
Did he have any like notable crashes? Were there any serious injuries sustained?
No, he literally
he drove clean.
You could assume he probably had a crash, maybe here and there, but considering how deadly they were and considering his win rate, or at least placing rate, was like, to get a placing was like 75-80% sort of chance. So you don't get a placing without not crashing. And I guess his whole style was kind of avoiding all of it and zipping
I
through
feel like
the
if
end.
there was a major incident, you would have found it in your research.
Yeah.
That kind of takes away it's like for the jousting, no one picks the death joust, and
they all pick the death joust.
No, I'm just saying the equivalent would be we don't pick the death joust because I don't want to actually get into the fray and risk it.
But
it could be.
Okay, I'm bowling with the bumpers up, and I get good scores.
Maybe the solo races are slightly less deadly than the team races are, because team races you're bashing into each other.
But let's not forget. Okay, he's staying away from the carnage.
He still had like 400 team points.
And there's other people that are racing through the carnage that are ahead of him, and he manages to catch up to them and win. Let's say he does it every single race. Every 1 in every 4 races, he's still able to do this and win.
And
like,
I
it's
guess
still a good
perspective
strategy.
too is there's a lot of crashes, but at the same time, and I guess you could expect crashes to happen often, but the crowd would go to one of these events hoping to see
Yeah,
a shipwreck.
you want the blood sport. You want
So there's your chance. You hope to see some goals in football, but you go and see a 0-0 every now and again. Sometimes they might not crash.
I guess seeing it, you're like in cycling, you got the front of the peloton, they're setting the pace, and if they're going too slow, a group will just go bugger this and go up ahead. But if you're playing chicken, okay, Diocles, he's going to try wait at the back. Everyone just slows down. They're not galloping, they're just in a trot. Everyone's like, boo, this sucks. Go, okay, I'm happy to go down really slowly.
But the way he must have been doing it is that everyone's so... Like, he was the most famous. He earned the most money. Yeah. You had to enjoy what he was doing. So
I'd love the game. I'm not saying it's not wild. It's just...
It does. It sounds like Ronaldo. He just, has that longevity. It's what Haaland will do too.
Well, where we are in our ranking looking at it, Ben and I, in our sort of talking, have got it between Dick Rutan and Eddie Goodell. Do you like that spot, Carlin, or do you want it a bit higher? Because I
think it's fine. It's honestly... It's just the more we put on the board, the harder it is for me to decide, because what is the metric? We know exactly what the metric is, but there's too many to calculate.
Yeah, you're comparing apples and oranges.
Yeah.
In a fruit salad. You're going to have some personal bias, and it's...
I'll go off here. I wouldn't mind putting it above Eddie Goodell and lower than the Drunk Socceroos in that spot there. But if you two are happy below Goodell and above Rutan, then that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm happy above Dick Rutan, just above.
Just above Ben?
We're gonna do a re-ranking soon, so
put him right in between.
I'll put him smack bang in the middle there. We've got room for someone else above Rutan and someone else below Eddie Goodell.
And above.
And above. Yeah, there's still that spot there.
And hey, maybe the story's so wild it blows through the wild bit at the top and it goes higher than Chris Moneymaker.
And we've still got plenty of space down on the mild side if we need it. And
we don't tell mild stories. This isn't mild world of sports. Never.
And you can see our board. The picture of it will be up at Wild World of Sport, Instagram, TikTok. You can see it there, and Facebook if anyone uses that. You never know. But that'll do us for this week with Carlin's story of Diocles, the chariot racer, how would you put it, Carlin?
Our butter folk hero.
The greatest rags to riches story ever, I think. I mean, most paid from potential slave. Pretty good.
Most paid athlete of all time.
Yeah.
Pretty good title to hold. And if you have feedback about this episode or another episode...
Or if you know something about the hyperinflation of the pious reign...
Let us know. Ben, where can they let us know? I've dropped it a couple of times.
You can let us know on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
And if people are on Spotify or Apple, Carlin, what should they do?
Spotify or Apple? What should they do? They should comment. They should comment nice things about rankings for ones I do. And they should leave Bill Fong where he deserves to be.
And anything about a following or
giving 5
rating?
stars.
Yeah, you can do that while you're there.
But also, please, you should do it.
Get engaged in the rankings, because we have no idea what we're doing. If we're going to do a whole episode on that.
We know exactly what we're doing. Stop selling yourself short.
Yeah.
And of course, Google Plus. Ben's being modest, not mentioning that one, popping off on.
I feel like, I hope this one dies.
We were feeling so close.
I feel like when we put the rankings on, Google Plus mention can be right at the bottom.
It's like a brain worm, like a brain rot thing.
That'll do it for this episode. My name's James Whybrow.
I'm James' brother Ben, no relation.
I'm Carlin Sheaves.
The chariot racer.
Yes.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Bye. I was just like, so Diocles. Oop, that's awful. Can't have that. Diocles